What is up? What is up? What is up, awesome people of the internet? Hope you all are having a fantastic day. Guys, let's talk about the All Star game. Now, if you don't know, now you know. We're about to talk about it. In this stream, we're going to talk all about the All Star game and the selection process, who made a roster, and we're going to talk through a lot of different stuff. So, who made a roster, who was snubbed, talking points to go into All-Star game, lots of stuff to talk about. So, I hope you all are geared up and ready to go because we are about to do a super, super, super deep dive, okay? So, again, this is the All-Star special on the Quita Loves Sports YouTube channel. And I hope you guys are very much interested as we are going through some of the talking points that I have, just to let you all know the lay of the land of what's happening. As I'm going through that, if y'all have any questions about some of the players who were selected, if y'all have a list of snubs that y'all want to talk about, let me know. Put that in the chat, and as we get to it, we're gonna bring up your comments and get to it when the time comes. Okay. All right, so first of all, I'm not sure if everybody knows, but yesterday the WNBA officially announced the All-Star selection for this year's All-Star game, which is taking place on July the 20th in Phoenix, Arizona. So this game is going to be the United States national team for the Olympics versus Team WNBA. All right, and so let's actually get into Team WNBA because that's the thing that was actually revealed yesterday. It wasn't Team USA. We all know who's going to be on Team USA, though. If you don't know, I'll talk about that also in this video. But let's talk about the selection process for the All-Star game and for Team WNBA. All right, so for the All-Star game, there was a selection process. So the selection process to determine the roster, it was a combination of things. It started with 50% of the fan vote, 25% of WNBA player votes, and national media, that's sports writers and broadcasters, 25%. So that was the initial pool of players. Again, 50% fan vote, 25% WNBA player vote, 25% media vote. And after that happened, we ended up with a top 10. So I do want to show that top 10 of vote getters right here on the screen. So here are the top 10 vote getters, and this is after the combination of fan, media, player vote came in. After that came in, we saw a top 10, and this is the top 10. So we had, and this is not in a particular order, so don't read too much into it. It's in alphabetical order, if you didn't know. Anyway, we have Aliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, Napheesa Collier, Kahleah Copper, Dearica Hamby, Sabrina Ionescu, Arike Ogunbowale, Brianna Stewart, Asia Wilson, and Jackie Young. So those were the top 10 vote getters when the rounds of voting was done. All right, top 10 vote getters. And if you all are wondering, hey, why is Fee, why is Collier, why is Sabrina, why is Stewie, why is Asia, and why is Jackie on this list? Well, because for the WNBA All-Star voting, they did not take off the Olympians. So the Olympians were fair game to get voted on, and a lot of people did vote for them. So they were included in the top 10 for vote getters. And what they did is they actually took the Olympians out of the list, and we saw that there were some players that were automatically added. So Aliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, Dearica Hamby, Arike Ogunbowale, those players were automatically added to the All-Star game because they were in the top 10 for vote getters. Okay, so those players are automatically into the All-Star game for Team WNBA. And now for the rest of the players, this was actually where the coaches came in. So the coaches came in And they actually received a list. They received a list of 36, the next 36 highest vote getters who were not already on the Olympic team. And they had to vote. They had to vote to fill the remaining spots for the Team WNBA roster. Now, if you all are wondering who was on that 36 player list, well, we actually have the list available. I want to just run through those names down. I can run through them real quick. So we had Ariel Atkins, Dewanna Bonner, Cameron Brink, who is hurt, so of course she can't play. Camila Cardoso, Dejanay Carrington, Kennedy Carter, Tina Charles, Alicia Clark, Natasha Cloud, Sophie Cunningham, Skylar Diggins-Smith, Aliyah Edwards, Timmy Fagbenle, Alicia Gray, Ty Harris, Ryan Howard, Natasha Howard, no relation, Alexi Hull, Rakia Jackson, Brionna Jones, Jonquel Jones, Benijah Laney Hamilton, Marina Mabry, Ezzie McMagor, Kate Martin, Kayla McBride, Kelsey Mitchell, Nneka Ogwumike, Angel Reese, Katie Lou Samuelson, Nalissa Smith, Alana Smith, Kia Stokes, Christy Wallace, Erica Wheeler, and Courtney Williams. So those were the players. Those were the players in. Those are the players that were in that 36 player list that the coaches actually had to whittle down to the final 12 player roster. So again, we had the initial vote from the fans, the players, and the media. There was a top 10. They weeded out the Olympians, and then the others in the top 10 automatically got into the All-Star game. And then the rest, the other 36 players that had a top vote, the rest of the 36 players were added to this list where coaches were able to actually fill out the rest of Team WNBA. And the thing to note is that players did not have players could not be selected by their coach. So, for example, Teresa Weatherspoon, she had a vote because, of course, she's one of the WNBA head coaches, and she was not able to vote for Angel Reese because, again, Angel's on her team. So coaches were not able to vote for their own players, but they were able to whittle down that list of 36 to figure out who exactly was going to be on the roster. So hopefully that does make sense to you all. So again, 36 players, the team coaches got a list, and they ultimately were the ones who selected the players that actually made Team WNBA and for the All-Star game. So hopefully that makes sense. If that does not make sense, let me know in the chat, and I can do some more clarifications. But hopefully that does make sense to you all. So again, that 36 player roster, that 36 player list that the coaches had, those were the top votes, not including the Olympians who got votes, and also not including Aliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, Dearica Hamby, and Arike Ogunbowale, who were already on that first top 10 list and automatically received entry into the All-Star game for Team WNBA. Now, I know some people are probably like, "What? I thought that Angel Reese was a top fan vote." She was. Now, guys, here is the list for the top 5 fan votes. So we had Caitlin Clark, who led the fan vote with 700,000 votes. Then we had Aliyah Boston, second in total fan votes. Asia Wilson was right after that. Brianna Stewart after that, and Angel Reese was in the top 5. So this is fan voting, which is only one piece of the of voting. Okay, so fan votes. This is how it was: 700,000, 735 for Caitlin, Aliyah, 618,680, Angel Reese, 300,081 votes. All right, 381,518 votes. So it would have been a lot cleaner for the WNBA to not have included the Olympians in the vote to begin with, because that's what complicated things, and that's what made stuff a bit confusing, because people were voting for Olympic players, and it didn't make a ton of sense. It didn't make a ton of sense. So yeah. Hopefully that makes sense to you all. Again, if it doesn't, let me know in the chat, and I can try to clarify. Rachel says, "Do you think they should take top 10 after excluding Olympians?" They should have, but they did not. I think that would have been cleaner, but they did not. They chose not to do that. All right. Nola says, voting with the Jess and email is easy to spam vote. They need to change the process. I mean, the point of this process for the fan vote, the whole point is to get fans heavily involved. And so if you make it really, really easy for fans to vote, that means they'll try to vote every single day. And that means that ultimately when the selections get made, they're going to be way more in tune about figuring out the player that they voted for, did they actually make the roster, and they'll be more likely to watch the All-Star game. So it actually makes sense that they allow it to be so easy to vote, because of course they want a lot of people to vote, and vote every single day, because as you do that, you get more and more and more and more invested into the All-Star game in general. Okay. So it does make sense. It does make sense why they did it the way that they did it, in my opinion, at least. Now, if you all are wondering, that's quite a lot of fan votes from this year. How did that compare to last year? Well, glad you asked, because here is the top 5 All-Star votes for fan voting. Fan voting, remember this is fan voting only, from last year to this year. And last year, A'ja Wilson was the top vote getter for the fan vote, and she swept the field. She swept the field with 95,000 votes. And that doesn't even come close to cracking the top 5 for this year. All right, because this year, Caitlin Clark was the top vote getter at 700,000. So that is a massive, massive jump in fan votes from last year to this year. And it's kind of awesome. It's kind of awesome to see. A'ja Wilson was the top vote getter last year with 95,000. This year, she is the third top vote getter with 607,000 votes. And it's just kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy to see like an astronomical jump from last year to this year. And voting last year was the same. Voting last year, they sent you email reminders, and that's how you can vote. You can vote every single day. Like, voting was similar last year. All right, voting was similar last year, and so the difference in a lot of ways is, fan interest has gotten a lot higher from last year to this year. And yeah, for sure, PV. Caitlin Clark is a huge part of that. I mean, she's a huge part in more people kind of getting out the vote, and it helped everybody. Look at everyone's numbers. Again, top 5 last year was A'ja Wilson, Brianna Stewart, Brittany Griner, Aliyah Boston, and Jackie Young. And this year it was Caitlin Clark, Aliyah Boston, A'ja Wilson, Brianna Stewart, and Angel Reese. So NOLA, they did not make that publicly available, so I don't know. I don't have the breakdown for how the players voted. I don't have the breakdown of how the coaches. Well, I mean, ultimately we do know how the coach. Ultimately we know that the final players on the list is because of the coach's vote after it was whittled down to that 36 player list. And so I don't know how those votes went. So yeah. If someone has a link to where that's available, I've scoured the internet, and I don't see anything. I don't see anywhere where they have publicly put out which coaches voted for who, and what players voted for who, and what media voted for who. All right, so that's kind of the situation, okay? 50% fan vote, 25% player vote, 25% national media vote. That made a list. Top 10 of those the vote getters who were not on the Olympics automatically made Team WNBA. The other 36 were compiled into a list, and the coaches voted, ultimately selected the players who made the final roster for Team WNBA. Okay, so that is kind of how everything all worked out. And if you all are wondering, wait, isn't Dearica Hamby on Team USA? And I would say yes, that is correct. Dearica Hamby is on Team USA for 3x3, not for 5-on-5. So only the 5-on-5 Olympians, will be playing for Team USA. The others will be playing for Team WNBA. The others meaning the 3x3 players. All right. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense. And now I do want us to go player by player and talk about some of the players who made this All-Star team. I'm going to tell you like how they've been doing this year, and ultimately why I think they were selected for the All-Star game. And as we go through this list, if y'all have specific comments about certain players, let me know in the chat. Also, if y'all could do me a huge favor and hit that like button, that would be absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. Really does help the channel out a whole lot when you all hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel. Again, guys, the All-Star game is happening July 20th in Phoenix, Arizona at the Footprint Center, which is home to the Phoenix Mercury, who have won the WNBA championship 3 times. And this game is going to be on ABC. The game starts at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 Pacific Time. And this is going to be part of a whole weekend, a whole All-Star weekend, where we're going to see a 3-point contest. We're going to see a skills challenge. The 3-point contest and a skills challenge will happen that Friday on July the 19th. So July the 19th, we have 3-point contest, skills contest. And then that Saturday, we will have the All-Star game. Okay. And also, guys, the All-Star game is sold out. So if y'all want tickets, y'all have to buy it on the resale market, though there are still tickets available for the 3-point contest and the skills challenge. All right. Eddie V says, wonder how big the ratings will be. I mean, I think the ratings are going to be huge. I think the ratings are going to be huge for this All-Star game. It's for sure going to break numbers. It's for, like, everything this year is breaking numbers. I'm sure it's going to break numbers. Con Lenny says, according to DraftKings, it's a 630% increase in All-Star voting from a year ago. Wow. That is crazy awesome. Doug is asking who is in the 3-point contest. We do not know. We do not know who's in the 3-point contest. Unfortunately, for the WNBA tends to announce that stuff way closer to the actual All-Star break. So we do not know ultimately who will be on the 3-point contest, and also who will be participating in the skills challenge. Okay. That's something that we likely will not know until, I'm assuming, probably a week before. Hopefully the WNBA gets to a point where they announce that stuff a lot sooner, because I think it's pretty important for people to know, especially if they want to buy tickets, to know who's actually going to be participating. All right. All right. David says, shame there won't be a dunk contest. Oh, man. Ryan says game should be good. Both teams will really want to win, unlike the NBA. Yeah, I mean, I think it helps, especially because this is a WNBA versus Team USA version of the All-Star game. Last time this happened in the WNBA, Team WNBA actually won, so it's kind of cool. We'll see if the Olympic team can win this year. I think they were going to try very hard. It's going to be a battle because one, Team USA, these players are like, yes, they made Team USA, but they will be fighting for actual playing time during the Olympics, and so they're going to be trying very hard. And then for Team WNBA, you know, most of them will not be playing for another month in terms of competitive WNBA games because we do have that Olympic break right after. And so they're going to be going all out because, you know, they're going to have an opportunity. They're going to have an opportunity to go all out because why not? You're not playing for a while. So I do think that this is a recipe for players to play really hard, for them to play really, really hard. Rachel is asking, are you going to do live commentary for the All-Star game? I am. Yes. I will be doing live commentary for the All-Star game. I will be doing that. Okay. Guys, let's go into the players who have made the All-Star game. Okay, I'm going to go player by player for Team WNBA. So, get ready. All right. I do want to start in the A. Start with Aliyah Gray, who made the All-Star game this year. So she is a second-time selection for the All-Star game, and you know, for the second year straight. So last year was the first year that she was selected to become a WNBA All Star, and this is the second year that she's been able to do that. She plays for the Atlanta Dream, and so far she's been doing her thing. She's been averaging 15.6 points a game for the squad, and she, especially because the Atlanta Dream has been playing games without Ryan Howard, who's been out with injury. You know, having a player like Aliyah Gray who can do a little bit of everything. She can drive basket, she can shoot, and ultimately she really is the leader on the court for the Atlanta Dream. And you know, having her be selected to the All-Star team, it makes a lot of sense. I think she really has been showing up and showing out and doing her thing for the Atlanta Dream. One thing to note, guys, is that she is a former Olympian. Not for 5-on-5 basketball, but for 3-on-3 basketball. She won the inaugural 3x3 Olympic gold medal, and that was in 2021. All right, and also, guys, she was the WNBA Rookie of the Year in 2017. All right, so that is Aliyah Gray, her second time becoming a WNBA All-Star. Next up, I do want to talk about Dearica Hamby. So Dearica Hamby has been flat out phenomenal this year. This is the third time that she's been selected to the All-Star game, and she has been doing her thing. If you all know that she previously played for the Las Vegas Aces, and for the last 2 seasons she's been in LA, and she has been the end-all be-all for the LA Sparks. She came into this season wanting to get at least one MVP vote, and she is doing her best to get that. She is one of the rare players in the WNBA right now that is averaging a double-double. She's averaging 18.4 points a game, 10.3 rebounds a game. She has been absolutely doing her thing. Our dog says Hamby has been balling all year. Absolutely been balling all year. She has put her team on her back. Yes, the LA Sparks is not a very good team. They're not. But she gives them a chance every single game, night in and night out. And also, a thing to note, guys, is that she is a 2-time Sixth Woman of the Year, and she is actually going to be in the Olympics this year. She was named as the replacement player for the 3x3 Olympic team due to her teammate Cameron Brink going down with an injury. Because of that, Dearica Hamby is now going to be going to Paris and playing for Team USA on the 3x3 team. She does have 3x3 experience. Dearica Hamby has been balling for 3x3, and she now has the opportunity to represent her country for 3x3 basketball. So shout out to Dearica Hamby. Best of luck when she goes over to Paris for 3x3. But yeah, she has been doing her thing this year, and she's been rewarded with the votes to become a 3-time All-Star. So shout out to Dearica Hamby for that. Alyssa is asking, will you call the 3x3 gold medal game? Yes. Yes, I will. And I will try my best to cover as many of those, as many Olympic games as possible. I'm going to try my best, okay? I am going to try my best. Timothy is asking, how tall is she? How tall is Dearica Hamby? I believe she is 6'3". I believe that is her height, 6'3". Yes, Eddie. Yep. The Sparks are definitely missing some players. Definitely missing some players. Yeah, our dog. Yeah, Dearica Hamby's good at 3x3. I think she is the perfect replacement for Cameron Brink, because after Cameron went down, I was like, yeah, if there's one person I could have replace Cameron, it would be Dearica, because like Cameron, Dearica is a post player who can play like a guard. She can dribble, she can shoot, she could defend post players and guards. She is quick on her feet, and I think that's going to be something that she's going to bring to Team USA for 3x3. All right, let's continue on, and let's talk about Kelsey Mitchell. So Kelsey Mitchell, if y'all don't know, she plays for the Indiana Fever, and this is her second time becoming a All-Star. Last year was actually her first year becoming a WNBA All Star, and now she's in her second appearance in an All Star game. She has been doing her thing for years. She has been playing very, very well for the Indiana Fever. She used to be the end-all be-all for this team. And now she actually has a squad around her. Last year was kind of like the starting of that with Aliyah Boston, and now with Caitlin and Aliyah. Kelsey is still doing her thing. She's leading the squad in points per game with 16.3 points a game. She also, in the last several years, she's been top of the WNBA when it came to points per game. From 2020 to 2023, she was ranked in the top 10 in terms of points per game for WNBA players in terms of scoring each season. She is, yes, as Angel says in the chat, yes, Kelsey Mitchell is a straight up shooter. She really is. She is one of the players that actually I was kind of surprised that she made the All-Star team. Not crazy surprised, but I was surprised that she deserves it, of course. But one of the many players that I'm going to talk about in this list that I thought could have gone either way in terms of making the All-Star game. But I mean, absolutely shout out to Kelsey Mitchell. She has been trying her best with the Indiana Fever for years, and she is now starting to get rewarded for that. So Kelsey Mitchell is not going to the All-Star game alone. She is going to be joined by several of her teammates, including Aliyah Boston. So Aliyah Boston is heading to her second WNBA All-Star team. So last year was Aliyah Boston's first year in the WNBA, and she became the Rookie of the Year last year as well. And she heads into this season with a slow start to start the season, and then she ramped up and got going, and she's doing her thing so far this season. She is averaging, she is 10th in the WNBA in terms of rebounds so far this year. She is doing a really good job in the pick and roll game with her and Caitlin Clark for this season. If y'all don't know, she is 6'5". Maybe I'll just start saying people's heights as we go through this. And so yeah, she is 6'5", and is the starting center for this Indiana Fever team. So far this year, she is playing quite a few minutes, and she's scoring a boatload of points. So far, I believe she's averaging 13.3 points a game, and she has a better three-point shot, better three-point shot than ever. She's shooting at least one three-pointer a game. Let's see. Let's see what y'all have in the comments. Timothy says she earned it. Love her game. Michaela says Aliyah Boston now is definitely for sure an all-star to me. Yeah, she's definitely kind of picked up the pace as the season has progressed, and has been doing very, very, very well. Not only is she getting points, she's also grabbing rebounds as well. 8.4 rebounds per game so far for this season. And yeah, she's been doing her thing. She's absolutely been doing her thing. Mr. CM, we're going to talk about snubs in just a hot second once we get through the players who are actually on the team. All right, so it's not just Kelsey Mitchell. It's not just Aliyah Boston. They also have a third player who is on the All-Star team for this year, and that is none other than Caitlin Clark. So Caitlin Clark has made her first WNBA All-Star team. Her first because this is her rookie year. She was the number 1 pick in the WNBA draft this season, and she's been doing her thing. She's absolutely been doing her thing. She leads rookies in points and assists. She's averaging 16.2 points a game and 6.9 assists per game. She also is the fastest player in the WNBA history to reach 300 points, 100 rebounds, and 100 assists. So that's pretty phenomenal. She is, yes, absolutely, before someone says it in the chat, yes, she is also leading the W in turnovers, which I do believe is going to improve over time. But turnovers aside, I think she really has been phenomenal for this Indiana Fever team. And as a collective, her, Kelsey, Aliyah are really giving the Indiana Fever a good chance to actually make a WNBA playoff appearance for this season. So for the month of May, Caitlin was the Rookie of the Month. And yeah, she's just been doing her thing. She's been hitting a bunch of three-pointers. She is passing the ball like crazy. And she's showing people that, yeah, she's ready for the WNBA. And she's doing a good job at it. Now, Michaela says they always gonna get in you if you don't mention turnovers. I know, yeah. If I don't mention the turnovers, then you're gonna have a whole bunch of people saying you're praising her too much because look at her turnovers. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. All right. James says so insane. What? Oh, okay. James says I'm one of them that doesn't know the game's history. I've not watched any basketball since I got out of high school early. So in saying that, if you are new to the WNBA like myself and you find you really like someone else great. I mean, James, I'm happy that you are new to the WNBA. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're having a great time. And there's so many players that you can choose from. Like just listening to the list of the players who have made the All-Star team, I would say, just select some players from there and watch some of their previous games and rock out from there. There's so many talented players in the W. You can just pick the region that you live in. And, say, hey, okay, this team is going to be my favorite team. This player is going to be my favorite player. And just rock out from there. There's so many favorite players to choose from in the WNBA. So many players to choose from. And guys, I can't talk about Caitlin Clark without immediately talking about Angel Reese, because those are the players that are put together quite a bit. So we have Caitlin Clark, who has made a All-Star appearance as a rookie, and we also have Angel Reese, who has made a WNBA All-Star team. And here's the thing about Angel Reese: she was drafted number 7 in the WNBA draft this year. She was drafted to the Chicago Sky, and to me, I think the Chicago Sky was the most perfect place for her to go to, because it really is a place that I feel like has really put her forward for success. She has been dominating the boards for this season. She is leading the WNBA right now in rebounds. And guys, the only other player who's been as dominant as she has been as a rookie on the rebounding front is Tina Charles. So right now, Angel Reese is averaging 11.4 rebounds per game for the season, and the only player who has been up there is Tina Charles, who averaged 1.7 in 2010 when she was a rookie. So, Angel Reese has been doing her thing. She has been averaging a double-double for the entirety of June. And not only is she grabbing rebounds, she's also doing a really, really good job on the defensive end. She has active hands. She's everywhere when it comes to the Chicago Sky on the defensive end. She's also scoring points. She's averaging 13.2 points a game. And she's stealing the ball as well. I believe she is leading the team in steals for this season. So Angel Reese is doing her thing, absolutely. And for those who say that all she does is rebound the ball, I mean, that's a huge part of it, right? That's a huge part of the WNBA is rebounding the ball. And she's proven that she is doing it at an elite level better right now than anyone else in the WNBA. All right. Yeah, Finisher 3X says 1.7 steals per game for Angel. Yes, she is doing her thing. She is a floor leader as a rookie. She's a floor leader. There are so many times where I see her bring her teammates together and talk about stuff. When Marina Mabrey was missing all those free throws, who came to her? Angel Reese came to her and said, "Hey, I believe in you. You can do this." She, like Kennedy Carter, same thing. She's a player who just absolutely does her thing. She's a leader on the court for her teammates, and she rocks out. Adrian says Angel averages 11.8 rebounds. Yeah, so that 11.4 was actually yesterday morning's stats. So yes. Now she's averaging 11.8 rebounds a game. Again, the best player in the WNBA when it comes to rebounding. And no, she is not only rebounding her own misses. That is not what's happening. Okay, she does rebound her misses. It's not all her misses that she is rebounding. All right. If you take away her missed shots, she's still at the top of the WNBA when it comes to rebounds per game. Dragon says better than anyone else, which includes vets. Yes. Alyssa says, I appreciate Tina Charles giving Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso pointers. Yeah, and the thing to note is that, like, it wasn't like Tina Charles was going up to them and saying, "Hey, I have a lot of advice for you. Listen to me." It was actually that when you looked at it, like, Angel Reese sought out Tina Charles. And like was showing how much she appreciated Tina and her game. And Tina was like, "Okay, I'm gonna share some knowledge with you." So it wasn't like she was running to give Angel advice. It was that Angel showed herself to be friendly, showed herself to be a learner, and showed herself to be appreciative of Tina Charles's game, where Tina was like, "Hey, I teach you something. I teach you something. You seem to be that awesome person. I'm gonna teach you something about the game." Nivea says Angel definitely exceeded expectations in the Rookie of the Year running. Absolutely. 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 Correct, Dragon. Yep. Thanks for rocking with me, James. Thanks for rocking. Doug says Angel's offense is awkward layups or shooting. She is best when she is grabbing a rebound and scoring. Yeah, her shot is awkward. Specifically, her layup is awkward. But you know, if she's successful at it, hey, why not? why not keep it? But yeah, it is a bit of an awkward layup that she does. But again, guys, she's doing her thing for this season. Again, she's averaging 13.2 points a game, 11.8 rebounds per game so far this season. All right, let's continue on. And actually, before we do, I actually do want to show some video of Angel Reese when she found out that she was going to be an All-Star. She found out actually after the game, yesterday's game was over between the Atlanta Dream and the Chicago Sky, a game that the Chicago Sky won, might I add. But in the locker room, Angel Reese found out that she was an All-Star. So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that video because I thought that was a really awesome moment.
Hold on. One last thing that we got to announce really fast. We got an All-Star in the building.
So that was video of Angel being notified that she's an All-Star, and here is what she had to say in the post-game presser about being an All-Star.
Apologize, but the emotions is not something I've seen from you yet.
Yeah.
So can you just describe the reason for the tears? And
well, we won today. But they just told me I'm an All-Star, and I mean, I'm just so happy. I know the work I put in coming into this league. So many people doubted me and didn't think my game would translate, and I wouldn't be the player that I was in college, or better, or would be worse, and wouldn't be where I am right now. But I trusted the process, and I believed, and I'm thankful that I dropped to 7 and was able to come to Chicago, and it's just a blessing. I can't thank my teammates and my coaches enough for just believing in me and trusting me. And I know all of them are going to come to Phoenix and support me, so I'm really happy right now.
you talked a lot about the journey up with the game.
All right, so that is what Angel Reese had to say. Talking about her being named a All-Star, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. Again, it's not that common for rookies to become All-Stars. Like, it's not. Aliyah Boston did it last year. This year we see both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese do it, and that's a huge deal. That is absolutely a huge deal. And speaking of video, actually, I forgot that I actually did have video of the Indiana Fever, um, and them talking about becoming All Stars as well. So let's roll that video as well.
Be able to play together as an all-star, but also like I think it's special. The talent that we have on this team, it's really amazing to be able to play together as an all-star, but also like I think this is really exciting for Caitlin being a rookie coming in and just having an impact the way that she does. And so
like you said, it's a really, really big thing for our franchise, but I think more importantly, kind of shows like where we are as players and where we aspire to be individually. And I think any great player, any great competitor has an all-star somewhere down their list. And we put in a lot of hard work, and so it feels good to kind of see these two ladies like smile about this process, and myself. Together we can experience it. So
I was gonna say that the opportunity. Yeah. I know you guys spend a lot of time together. The opportunity to do something that's kind of fun together is kind of cool for the three of you. But
yeah, we're all going to be on the same team, so at least we'll have each other. We could have some familiarity, I guess. I don't know. But no, obviously it's fun. It's cool. Obviously for myself to accomplish this in my rookie year. But like I'm just lucky to be a part of these two, or with these two, and like you said, like it's big for our franchise too. Like I think it just shows the talent we have, and so we're just putting that together, and the future is bright. Obviously, me and AB, like year 1 and year 2, and Kelsey here is a little bit older, but other than that, like that's pretty exciting.
All right, so that was what was said. There is another clip I want to show as well, because during that post-game presser, Caitlin was specifically asked about teaming up with Angel Reese, and I thought it was a cool quote. So I'm gonna go to that video now, actually, so we can show what Caitlin said specifically about being teammates with Angel Reese.
Yeah, that'd be like, I don't think I've ever been your teammate before, even with USA basketball or anything like that. So I know people are going to be really excited about it, but I hope it doesn't take away from everybody else. Like, this is a huge accomplishment for everybody on Team USA and everybody on Team WNBA. Like, they all deserve the same praise. Like, I don't want it to take away from any of that and just be the focal point of All-Star Weekend, because that's not fair to them. And, obviously this is something that's really hard to accomplish. So the best we can celebrate all of them will be great. And just going to obviously soak in the experience. Like, you never know if you're ever going to be able to get back there, and it'll be fun for all of us. Yeah, that'd be, like, I don't think I've ever been here.
So yeah, that is what Caitlin Clark had to say about being teammates with Angel Reese, and I loved her response to that, is because she's like, hey, yeah, I mean, yeah, that'll be new. They've never played together before, but she's like, hey, like, there's a lot of players who are going to be in the All-Star game. Let's not make this a 2-person show. And I love that. I really do. Like, I really do love that, that commentary, because, yeah, I mean, this likely will be a Caitlin and Angel team up type of All-Star game. I think that's going to be like the biggest narrative coming into it. And I like the fact that she was like, hey, there's lots of other players. Let's not make this just an us thing, which, I always think is pretty cool. All right. So, guys, I do want to, yes, Eddie. Eddie says she's great at recognizing other players, great sportsmanship. Yeah. Michaela says Caitlin's right. Yeah, she is right. She's right. Absolutely. I guess some people in the chat are saying that Angel's a center. Yeah, she's not a center. Yeah, she's a power forward. She's a power forward. Camilla, she starts with Camilla Cardoso. And before that, she was starting with Elizabeth Williams. And guys, while we are on while we are on Angel, I actually want to just talk through something real quick, okay? All right. So in the last several games for the Chicago Sky, yesterday they played against the Atlanta Dream. Angel Reese had 19 rebounds. All right. Again, 19 rebounds against the Atlanta Dream. All right, we move forward, or we move backwards to the 30th of June when the Chicago Sky played the Minnesota Lynx. In that game, Angel had 16 rebounds. Against the Las Vegas Aces, Angel had 11 rebounds. Against the Indiana Fever, for the third time, Angel had 16 rebounds. The day before that, or not the day before that, a couple days before that, against the Dallas Wings, Angel had 18 rebounds. The day before that, or a couple days before that, she had 13 rebounds. Then 14 rebounds, then 10 rebounds, then 13 rebounds, 11 rebounds, 10 rebounds, and 13 rebounds. Those are all the rebounds that Angel Reese had in every single game in June. Above 10 in every single game. And in some games, significantly over 10. So I just want to just hammer in the fact that, like, yes, Angel Reese deserves to be on this on this All-Star team. She really does. And then there's a lot of people who are saying that she doesn't, and talking and saying what they're saying, and that's all right. I do just want to let you all know that, like, she actually has been balling. She actually has been balling in June, and it's continuing into July. Okay, this takes nothing away from other players to admit that Angel Reese has been doing a good job, and no, it is not all on her own misses. Okay. James says, did I get booted? No, you didn't. Timothy says, wow. Yep. Paris says 19 rebounds. A Rodman or a Dwight Howard number? Yeah. Yeah. We were waiting. We were Michaela says, do y'all remember that stretch when we were waiting for Angel to get that double-double? Seems so foreign. Yeah. And the thing is, it's not like this is double-doubles is new to Angel Reese, because Angel Reese, like, she was absolutely phenomenal at LSU. All right. During her time at LSU, she had 61 double-doubles in 2 years. 61 double-doubles in 2 years. All right. She has a record of 34, I believe it was 34 straight double-doubles that she had in college. So, she is a double-double machine. All right. So that's what she does. That is what she does. That is her thing, rebounding the basketball. All right, guys, I do want to move on. Let's talk about another player who has made the All-Star team, and that is Brionna Jones. So Brionna Jones, if you don't know, she does play for the Connecticut Sun. And Brionna Jones really is like the calming effect for the Connecticut Sun. I think she's been having a really good season this year. Brionna is making an All-Star appearance for her third time. And overall, she's playing extremely well. A thing to note, guys, is that she was out almost I think for at least half of the season for last year. She was out. She had a Achilles injury, and so she was out for that. And this year she's come back and she's been doing her thing. So far this season, she's averaging 13.2 points a game, 6.9 rebounds a game, and she is in her 7th season in the WNBA. She was the 6th woman of the year in 2022 because, yes, she did indeed used to come off the bench. That was when Jonquel Jones was with the Connecticut Sun. But since Jonquel Jones left and went to New York, Brionna Jones has gotten that center starting position, and she's been doing her thing. She's absolutely been doing her thing. A thing to note is that she is a very, very, very efficient shooter. She's shooting 54% from the field this season. So that's pretty high. that is pretty high. And again, I think she's just another player who I actually was not sure that she was going to make the roster. For the All-Star game. Yes, she's been doing her thing, but I wasn't sure if she was going to make it. But she absolutely deserves it. I think she's been doing her thing. Yes, finisher Brionna Jones is legit. Yes. Timothy says she is a quiet killer. Facts. Now, I said the thing about her previously being a player that came off the bench. And the player that she used to come off the bench for is the next player that I actually want to talk about. And that is Jonquel Jones. So Jonquel Jones has made another WNBA All Star appearance. This is going to be her 5th All Star selection. She is a former WNBA MVP. She won the MVP in 2021. She was also a 6th Player of the Year as well. She won that in 2018. And Jonquel Jones is Jonquel Jones, y'all. If y'all don't know, she is also called JJ. So if y'all hear people talk about JJ in the WNBA, they likely are talking about Jonquel Jones, okay? So far for the New York Liberty, she is averaging 16.5 points a game and 8.8 rebounds a game. A thing to note, guys, is that she is the most efficient shooter in the WNBA right now. She's averaging 58% from the field, which is very, very efficient. And the thing to note is that she's not just shooting shots at the basket. She also shoots 3-pointers, mid-rangers. She can kind of do a little bit of everything for Jonquel Jones. And she really is a key piece to this New York Liberty team and the reason why they are absolutely balling so far. Doug, sometimes she does disappear. She did disappear in that Commissioner's Cup game, but when Jonquel Jones is on, you can't stop her. There's absolutely nothing you can do to stop her. But yeah, sometimes she is off. And I think that's kind of the case for all the players that we're talking about in this in the stream. But yeah, you are right about that. B. Will says, JJ is the truth. I love her game. She's my 2nd favorite big in the league. Yeah, I mean, she's really, really good. Finisher says, Jonquel Jones equals a tougher version of Karl Anthony Towns. Okay. All right. Coach Go says, bring back Olympic tryouts. Why? Why are we bringing back Olympic tryouts? Michaela says, JJ is my MVP. I don't know who Asia is. That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. Timothy is asking, what's her height? She is 6'6". 6'6". All right. YouTube says Jonquel Jones shot 3 of 6 from the 3-point line last night on 21 points and 12 rebounds. New York is one of the best teams for sure. Yeah, they are. And they just beat the Minnesota Lynx. So, yeah, they are now, in my power rankings, they're now number 1. All right, let's continue on. And let's go back to Connecticut and talk about Dewanna Bonner. So Dewanna Bonner has made the All-Star game again. This is her 6th time becoming a WNBA All-Star. She is leading the Connecticut Sun in points per game with she's averaging 16.2 points a game. She is fantastic for this Connecticut Sun team. Really is a part of that big 3. It's Alyssa Thomas, who's on the Olympic roster. It's Dewanna Bonner, and it's Brionna Jones, who are just constantly doing their thing. And Dewanna is another 6th Player of the Year winner. Now, again, this is 3 6th Woman of the Year players back to back. It was Brionna Jones, Jonquel Jones, and Dewanna Bonner. So, I mean, 6th Woman of the Year. That's a great award to eventually, be in All-Star contention. Also, Dearica Hamby is another player who was named a 6th Woman of the Year in the past. A thing to note is that Dewanna Bonner is 5th in the WNBA in total points. 5th in WNBA history in total points with 7,188 points in the W, which is kind of crazy. She's been around for a while. Again, this is her 6th time appearing in an All-Star game. And if you all are wondering how tall Dewanna Bonner is, she is 6'4". She's 6'4". College Bound wants me to make sure to note that it is a core 4 with Dejanay Carrington. She's one of my snubs that I'm going to talk about in a hot sec. Dewanna is she's 36 years old, still doing her thing in the WNBA. Machiavelli says, Bonner, I love her game. Yep. Thank you so much, Cap. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. If y'all could, make sure to please hit that like button. It really does help the channel out a whole lot. Hit that like button. Also, if y'all are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. It only takes a second of your time to subscribe to the channel. Also, I do have merch. You can go to QLSapparel.com. That is QLSapparel.com for some awesome merch. I'm wearing one of my shirts right now. It says "Jokes on You, Women's Basketball Been Lit." So if y'all wanna rock that, y'all can do that at QLSapparel.com. All right, a little bit of a commercial break, and now let's go back into the players list. All right, so next up in All-Star WNBA All-Star appearance is Arike Ogunbowale. So Arike Ogunbowale is absolutely fantastic. She's 2nd in the WNBA in points per game with 23.7 points per game. She is the bona fide leader for the Dallas Wings. She's in a All-Star game for her 4th time. She was the 2021 WNBA All-Star MVP, so that's something to note as well. And actually, the game that she was the MVP on, that game in 2021 for the All-Star game, that was the last time that Team WNBA faced Team USA, because that was the Olympic year. Because of COVID, they had to move that back a year. And she was the MVP of that game. And that game, again, as I said earlier, Team WNBA did beat USA Basketball. They won that game 93-85. So that's something to note. But Arike Ogunbowale is a scoring machine. She's been a top 5 scorer pretty much every single year that she's been in the WNBA. And yeah. She's also number 1 in made threes in the WNBA right now. She has 59 made threes as of yesterday. And also she's leading the W in steals as well. So yeah, Arike Ogunbowale is doing her thing, and we'll get to see Arike on Friday. That's awesome. That is awesome. Squeezelle says, hit that like button if you rock with Quita. A lot of y'all, I don't know if that's autocorrect. A lot of y'all say Quinta. I don't know if that's as autocorrect or what, but I think it's kind of funny. Maybe I didn't know Quinta was like a name, but I see a lot of people say Quinta, so I assume that's autocorrect. But thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Again, hit that like button. That'd be awesome. KA says, why Team WNBA versus Team USA instead of East versus West? It's always a better rivalry that way to me. Well, the reason why is because this is an Olympic year, and this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to prepare Team USA for the Olympics. Like that. That's what it is. It's an opportunity for Team USA to get some burn in, because unlike some other countries, most of Team USA is all of Team USA is on a WNBA team, and so they don't have that much time to get games in before they actually compete in the Olympics, and that's why they play Team WNBA, because it's a great time to give the Olympic team some burn. Also, it's a great opportunity to give fans a competitive game, because I find that the most competitive games really is the Olympics versus the WNBA, because the Olympic team has an incentive to play well because they're playing for playing time in the actual Olympics. And so that's something to note. I think that the normal format for the for the All-Star game, it's silly, because it's not that much of a break in between the All-Star game and regular WNBA play, and so players don't go very hard and whatnot. And I do feel like that for the WNBA, the most competitive games really are the opportunity to see Team USA versus Team WNBA. So personally, that's my favorite. That's my personal favorite. All right. Now let's move on to more WNBA All Stars. Let's talk about Kayla McBride. So now here's the thing, guys. I was in first, if you don't know, Kayla McBride is a fantastic shooting guard from the Minnesota Lynx. This is her fourth time becoming a WNBA All Star, and here's the thing, guys. I actually did not think that Kayla McBride was going to make the Olympic roster, or the All Star roster. And it's not because she wasn't deserving of it, because I think she absolutely is. But in many ways, I feel like the Minnesota Lynx does not get the attention and or credit that they deserve, and some of their players get snubbed. And I really did feel like Kayla McBride was going to get snubbed. She didn't deserve to get snubbed. I absolutely had her on my list. I had her on my list for making an All-Star appearance, and I just didn't think that she was going to get the fan vote and the player vote like that to actually make the team. And I'm very happy that she did make the team, because she has been fan-freaking-tastic this year. This is her first time getting back to the All-Star game since 2019. Again, this is her fourth selection, but she hasn't been an All-Star since 2019. She's been in the WNBA for a very, very, very long time. She is a sharp shooter, and she's scoring like crazy this year. This year, she's averaging 15.8 points a game. She's third in the league in 3-point shots made, with 55 made so far this year. She is, she is a player that can shoot the ball very, very well. We saw several games ago where she kind of went back to back with fantastic 3-point shooting games. I do want to highlight those for y'all to show y'all how crazy of a shooter she was. So there was a 2-game stretch where they played Phoenix on June the 7th, and Kayla McBride had 25 points in that game. She was 8 of 13 from the three-point line. Again, 8 of 13, which is absolutely fantastic. 61% from the three-point line. And she follows that up 2 days later in a game against the Seattle Storm, where she was 7 of 10 from the three-point line. Again, 7 of 10. So 2 days before, she was 8 of 13. She waits 2 days, then she's 7 of 10 from the three-point line. She had 32 points in that game. Kayla McBride is a walking bucket when she gets hot. And she absolutely is going to be a key piece for the Minnesota Lynx to actually make a run for the WNBA championship this season. She's been balling. She has absolutely been balling. So yeah, that is something to note. Zagerstein says Kayla McBride has the quickest release in the WNBA based on eye test, no motion wasted. Yeah, she has a quick trigger. She has a quick trigger, that is for sure. All right, we only have one more player left to go on Team WNBA, and that is the president herself, Miss Presidente. It is Nneka Ogwumike. So Nneka Ogwumike is with a new squad this year. She is with the Seattle Storm. This is her 9th time appearing in an All-Star game. And yeah, she's been doing her thing. So when it comes to All-Star appearances for active players right now, there is Diana Taurasi, who's going to be in her 11th All-Star game. Brittany Griner, 10th All-Star game. And we have Nneka Ogwumike with her 9th All-Star game. So far this year, she is averaging 17.2 points a game for the Seattle Storm. She's also averaging 7.3 rebounds. So 17.2 points, 7.3 rebounds a game. She doesn't have to do as much as she used to when she was with the LA Sparks, but she absolutely is a bona fide leader for the Seattle Storm team and really is one of those glue pieces to get them to where they need to go. Again, I mean, Nneka's Nneka. She's been in the league for forever, and she consistently is good. Not even good. She's consistently great. And that's something that, that's a thing, that is absolutely a thing. All right, guys. Also, if you don't know, she was drafted in the WNBA in 2012, which is a while ago. So, she's been in the league for a long time. All right, so those are the players on Team WNBA. Now, I do want to quickly run down the players that they're playing against. They're playing against Team USA. And I do want to just tell y'all quickly who's on Team USA. So a thing to note is that Team USA features 12 players who are currently playing in the WNBA, which it's always that case. I can't remember the last time that the Olympics chose players who were not in the WNBA to field their team, or Team USA chose players who were not in the WNBA to field their Olympic team. So yeah. A lot of fantastic players on Team USA. We got 8 WNBA champions. We got 3 WNBA MVPs. We got 5 former Rookie of the Years, and we got combined 15 Olympic gold medals between the players that make up Team USA. All right, so we have, in no particular order, we have Jackie Young with the Las Vegas Aces. This is her 3rd time being selected. This is her third All-Star appearance, I should say. We have Asia Wilson, a former MVP, player who I believe will be this year's MVP. She's leading the WNBA in scoring, and she's number 2 in rebounds per game. She plays for the Las Vegas Aces, and this will be her 6th time appearing in an All-Star game. Now, again, Asia Wilson is averaging 26.9 points a game and 11.1 rebounds a game. She's also doing her thing in the block category as well with 2.3 blocks per game. She's also leading the WNBA in blocks as well. Or she's second in the WNBA in blocks, I should say. All right, next up we have Alyssa Thomas, AT, from the Connecticut Sun. This is her 5th time appearing in a WNBA All Star game. She is a newbie to the Olympic team. This is her first time appearing in the Olympics for Team USA. Well, so that's pretty cool. Last year, she almost won the WNBA MVP. She was my WNBA MVP last year, but she didn't win it. Stewie won it instead. And she's been doing her thing. You know, leads the WNBA in triple doubles. She is a player who just does everything for the Connecticut Sun. She is a point forward, a player who plays with basically 2 broken shoulders and still dominates. She's a great passer in the WNBA. She also is a great rebounder and is a player who can score when she needs to. She has a very, very funky shot that works for her because she doesn't want to get surgery just yet. But Alyssa Thomas really is being fantastic. She has kind of lessened up her effectiveness in the last several games for the Connecticut Sun, but overall she still is fantastic. JC says Alyssa Thomas is 6'2", a triple double machine. Yes. She absolutely is. Timothy says, okay, I'm trying to match up players. It may be because I didn't, I should have individually got everyone's photo. My apologies for that. My apologies. But AT is at the bottom, second from the right next to Diana Taurasi is Alyssa Thomas. But next time I go through Team USA, I'll have individual photos for everybody. All right, next up we have, let's actually just go to Diana Taurasi. Let's go to Diana Taurasi, who is making her 11th All-Star appearance. This is, this is, the second most All-Star appearances in league history. Sue Bird has the most. She was an All-Star for 13 times. Diana Taurasi, 11th time in a All-Star game. She is 42 years old. So she's 42 years old. She's been playing in the WNBA for 20 years, and she still is doing her thing in the W. She's only played for the Phoenix Mercury. And if you all are like, hey, she's old, like she needs to go somewhere, well, just tell her, but she's not going to listen to you because, guys, for this season, this 42-year-old is averaging 16.6 points a game. She's also averaging 4.7 rebounds a game and 2.5 assists per game. She is doing her thing. Diana Taurasi is 6 foot. She's 6 foot tall. She is 6 foot tall, and she's still doing great. I mean, it's hard to tell someone to leave when they're averaging 16 plus points a game. Like it's hard to do that. It really is hard to do that if she's dominating the way she is. Dominating in terms of scoring a lot of points. Like she has a quick trigger when it comes to 3-point shooting, and she's doing her thing. She is a former WNBA MVP, 3-time champ for the WNBA. She has won 5 gold medals for Team USA in the Olympics. And she's played more games than anybody in U.S. women's Olympic history for basketball. She's just doing her thing. She is just doing her thing at the ripe old age of 42. Because 42 is not old. It's just in basketball years that's old. And she's still doing her thing. So one of y'all tell her to stop because she's old. Because, yeah. She's going to laugh at your face because she's like, hey, I gotta stop. I'm averaging way more points than most WNBA players right now. I am doing my thing. So, Machiavelli says prime Diana Taurasi was special. Yes. Oh my goodness. For y'all who y'all impression of Diana Taurasi is just the last several years. Yes, the last several years she has been very good, but prime Diana Taurasi, it was fantastic. It just was. Like I used to be a big Diana Taurasi fan. It was back in the days when that Mighty Mercury when Cappy Pondexter did that, it was Diana, it was Cappy, it was Penny Taylor. That was like, yeah. Diana Taurasi was balling. I'm just saying. Michaela says, I'm still giddy. I'm still glad we're gonna tell her to stop. I mean, it's hard to argue with 16 points a game. It's hard to argue with that. It is hard to argue with that. All right, next up we have Sabrina Ionescu. Sabrina Ionescu has been doing her thing. This is the third time that she will appear in an All-Star game. She was the Eastern Conference Player of the Month for last month in June, so that's kind of cool. She is doing her thing in terms of scoring. She's averaging 18.8 points per game. She's also averaging 6.5 assists per game. And guys, the thing to note about Sabrina Ionescu is she has reinvented herself. She was just a 3-point shooter, I would say. But she has developed herself into more of a slasher type of player, more of a player who can score at the rim, more of a player who can play defense, and a way better passer than she has ever been. She really has transformed in the offseason and is doing her thing this year for the New York Liberty. Now let's talk about her teammate. Let's talk about Brianna Stewart. Brianna Stewart is appearing in her 6th WNBA All Star game. She was the MVP last year. She was also the MVP in 2018 as well. Yeah, I mean, Brianna Stewart is Stewie. Like, she just scores a lot of points. She's averaging 19.8 points a game. She's also averaging 8.7 rebounds a game, and she's just doing her thing. This is going to be the third time that she'll be representing Team USA for the Olympics. She won gold in 2021 and 2016. Yeah, Stewie. And she is doing her thing very, very well. Timothy says, I really love her game. Yeah. Hey. Brianna Stewart can score. She can play defense, and she is a bona fide leader for the New York Liberty and for Team USA. All right, let's continue on with the selections. Next up, let's talk about Kelsey Plum. So Kelsey Plum is another Las Vegas Ace player that is going to be on Team USA. They have four players who are Olympians, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, they're starting. 4 of their starting players. You have 4 Olympians and you have Kia Stokes on the Las Vegas Aces team. Kelsey Plum, this is going to be her 3rd time appearing in a WNBA All Star game, and for this third straight time, might I add. She was the MVP of the All Star game in 2022. That was when she had that teeny tiny trophy, and that had lots of memes that spurred on from that. She won this teeny tiny one, and it was kind of funny when Kathy gave it to her. It was really, really funny. But anyway, Kelsey Plum has been balling this year. Just even yesterday, she had a fantastic game against the Indiana Fever. She's averaging 17.3 points a game so far this year. And she's showing everybody that she can play. Actually, I'm sorry, scratch that. She's averaging 18.3 points a game, 5.1 assists per game. And that's another thing. Just like Sabrina Ionescu, improving in her assists. Kelsey Plum has really improved in her ability to pass the ball. Again, 5.1 assists per game. The reason why she's had to do that is because Chelsea Gray was out for so long. She had to step up and be more of a facilitator, not only look for her shot. And she's been doing that very, very well for this Las Vegas Aces team. Also, a thing to note, guys, is that she also was on the 2021 3x3 Olympic gold medal team. So she has a 3x3 gold medal, and she's going to be the first player ever to win a 3x3 gold medal and a 5-on-5 gold medal, likely, once this year is over, because likely Team USA will win the Olympic gold for 5-on-5. So yeah, she's going to have 2 gold medals for basketball, which is kind of cool, for two different categories, 3x3 and 5-on-5. Next up, let's talk about Jewell Loyd, who is right next to her in the photo. So Jewell Loyd is Jewell Loyd. She is a rock star of a player that plays for the Seattle Storm. She is appearing in her 6th All-Star game. She is a 2-time WNBA champion, winning in 2018 and 2020. She also was on the Olympic squad when the 5-on-5 Olympic squad when they won the gold in 2021. Guys, I mean, she's doing a thing. she's doing a thing. Last year, she did lead the WNBA in scoring. This year, she's not scoring as much because this Seattle Storm team has been infiltrated with a boatload of talent. So this year, she is only averaging 20.2 points a game and 5.3 rebounds a game. She is the gold Mamba. Yes, JC, she is the gold Mamba. And she has been doing her thing for the Seattle Storm for a long time, and she absolutely deserves to be on a Olympic roster. All right. Next up, let's talk about Napheesa Collier, a.k.a. Fee. Napheesa Collier is going to her 4th All-Star game. And yeah, guys, she is a fantastic player. Like, it's kind of hard to sort of talk a ton about her because she just does everything. Napheesa Collier is, in a lot of ways, a severely undersized post player. She's 6'1", plays the 4 for the most part. But she's one of like she's kind of like a point forward of sorts, where she's a post player, but she can also play like a guard if she needs to. So far this year, she's averaging 20.9 points a game, 10.4 rebounds a game, and 2.3 assists per game. So that's something to note. Also, she did win the gold medal for Team USA in 2021 for 5-on-5. Yes, Adrian, a thing that I did not say that I should have said about Jewell Loyd is that, yes, Jewell Loyd was last year's All-Star MVP. Yes. All right. Continuing on. Napheesa Collier is fantastic. Also, guys, she had a baby 2 years ago, and in my mind, if the MVP vote was right now, Asia Wilson would be number 1. Number 2 would be Napheesa Collier. She is absolutely fantastic, and she has a lot more help this year than in years past, and so this really is an opportunity for her to win a WNBA championship, possibly with the Minnesota Lynx, because she does have a whole lot more talent around her. All right, continuing on. Let's talk about Kahleah freaking Copper, KFC. She is now with the Phoenix Mercury. She previously was with the Chicago Sky. This is going to be her 4th time going to the All-Star game. And yeah, she's been doing her thing. she has been like Kahleah Copper has. It's like she like flew out of a cannon. How she's been playing with this Phoenix Mercury team. She's been straight up balling, including today, guys. Today, the Phoenix Mercury defeated the Dallas Wings, and Kahleah Copper had 34 points today. 34 points. I'm just saying. Just saying. KFC is freaking phenomenal. So far this season, she's averaging 21.8 points a game, 4.5 rebounds, and 2.2 assists. All right. Yeah, she's absolutely doing her thing. B Will says KFC laughing. Yeah. And KFC was the nickname she got in Chicago, and like, because she's Kahleah freaking Copper. That's what she's like. She just does her thing. Crystal says KFC was always good, but she wasn't this good in Chicago. Facts. Yes. JJ said this guy got dismantled. Used to have Copper and Courtney. Also, we used to have Alana Smith too. So you have Courtney Williams and Alana Smith who are starting with the Minnesota Lynx, and you have Kahleah Copper who is doing her thing with the Phoenix Mercury. So yeah, the Sky have lost quite a bit. So yeah, that is something for sure to note. Speaking of, just a quick aside, speaking of today's game, Michaela is right. Natasha Howard for the Dallas Wings went off. Guys, she was 11 of 15 from the field. She finished with 36 points in this game. Yes, Dallas did lose, but y'all, Natasha Howard. Oh, man, Natasha Howard can still ball. She can still ball. Yeah, KA, yeah, you're right. Yep. KA says, speaking of Ka, she has a Pro-Am women's team in Philly. The league starts this Friday. Yes, that is correct. That is absolutely correct. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, family, for that. Says Quita, enjoying your in-depth analysis. Thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate you for rocking with me, y'all. If y'all could, please make sure to hit that like button. It really does help the channel out a whole lot. Yeah, hit that like button. Also hit that subscribe button if you can. And while you at it, might as well get some merch as well. Get some merch. Finisher says KFC is a stone cold killer. Yeah, she's fantastic. She is absolutely fantastic. B Will says Natasha Howard is smooth. Yeah, like she. And today, guys, she went to the free throw line quite a bit. She has 17 free throws in this game. 17. Like that is a whole lot. A whole lot of free throws. All right, guys, let's continue on. We're almost done with the list of players. Next up, I do want to talk about Kahleah freaking Copper's teammate in Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner with the Phoenix Mercury has made her 10th All-Star game. She is a two-time Defensive Player of the Year. She has been balling. She has been balling so far this year. She's averaging 20 points a game. Actually, this might have been updated since today's game is over. So let me actually get her most recent stats. So yeah. So far, Brittany Griner is averaging 20 points a game, 6.8 rebounds a game. And again, you know, she's a player who was hurt initially to start the season, and now she's back, and now she's balling. All right. She did have a toe injury to start the season, so that's something to note. She did win 2 gold medals so far for Team USA in 2016 and 2021. All right, and that leaves us with just one more player that we did not talk about, and that is Chelsea Gray the point guard, as she is known as. This is going to be her 6th time appearing in a WNBA All Star game. And also, guys, she does play for the Las Vegas Aces. As I said, they have 4 players in their starting lineup that is playing for Team USA. She is fantastic. She was the Finals MVP in 2022. She also was a critical piece for the Las Vegas Aces last year in their route to win another championship. Though she did get hurt. She did get hurt in the finals last year, and it's an injury that she just got back from literally a couple of games ago. She is getting back to where she was. Last year, she was phenomenal. This year, again, guys, as I said, she hasn't appeared in that many games. She's just sort of making her return, and at a good time, too. She's making her return at a good time because she's going to have to go to Paris pretty soon. So far this year, she has only appeared in 5 games so far. The last 5 games for the Las Vegas Aces. She has, for the most part, been limited in the minutes she's played so far. The most minutes she's played this season is 27 minutes, and that was against the Chicago Sky last week. And so, yeah. This is a Olympic team that, even though Chelsea Gray was hurt, they still wanted her on the team because it's hard to match the point guard abilities that Chelsea Gray has. Chelsea Gray is the only true point guard that is on this Olympic roster, and she is a player that is just, it's unmatched what she's able to do healthy on the point guard position. All right. Yeah. Healthy, she's just is phenomenal. Just fantastic of a player. She hasn't really gotten back to her same stature as she was last year. So that's something to note. So far, she's been okay, but she hasn't really necessarily been like that player that she was last year. Though, she did have a pretty good game against the Washington Mystics. So that's something to note. That is something to note. All right, guys, we just went through the list of players who are on Team USA. And also, earlier we went through the players who are on Team WNBA for the All-Star Game. Now, I do want to take the time to talk about some snubs, as it were. So, guys, let me know in the chat which snubs you all had for the Olympic roster. So, a couple of snubs that I had is there's and here's the thing with my snubs. So my snubs are players who I think was deserving of an all-star nod. However, the thing to note is there is only a finite number of all-stars there could be, right? It's a finite list of 12 players, and I am not necessarily saying that the players that I'm about to name should be replacing a specific person on the all WNBA WNBA All-Star team. I am saying that these players are deserving of a spot, and it's a bummer that they didn't get it for this year. All right, so we start with Ezi Magmagor. So Ezi Magmagor is absolutely fantastic. Yes, this Seattle Storm team has Nneka Ogwumike in the post, was doing her thing, but y'all, Ezi Magmagor is just a critical piece for this Seattle Storm team. She is a player who you don't really want to go in the paint when you're going against the Seattle Storm, and the reason why is because Ezi Magmagor is going to block your shot. She started in the WNBA in block shots. She is averaging 13.4 points a game, shooting 50% from the field, 8.8 rebounds a game. Again, third in the WNBA right now with 2.2 blocks a game. She's fantastic. She absolutely is fantastic. I know a lot of people do not talk about Ezi Magmagor. They don't. A lot of people sleep on her. I think she's not as exciting, I guess, as some people want her to be, but just talent-wise and what she does for the Seattle Storm team, she is fantastic. And I do believe she is one of my snubs of players who, is deserving of being on this All-Star team. She was an All-Star last year, thing to note. All right. Continuing on my snubs, I do have Kennedy Carter for my snubs list. Y'all, Kennedy Carter is just... she is lightning in a bottle. Initially, to start the season, she did come off the bench for the Chicago Sky. She has earned a starting spot for the Chicago Sky, and she is, y'all, she is on fire this year. Like, I can't talk about Kennedy Carter enough. She is a player who just, anything you need, Kennedy can do it. You need energy, Kennedy got you. You need shooting, Kennedy got you. So far this season, she's averaging 15.3 points a game. She also, in my opinion, is the best passer on the Chicago Sky. She is, like, when you talk about the Chicago Sky, like, a huge focus is passing it in the paint to the bigs. And Kennedy Carter has the best touch getting the ball to Camilla and Angel. Like, the best post passer for the Chicago Sky. Right now, she's only averaging 2.7 assists per game, but it feels like, just watching the games, it feels like if you need to get the ball on the post, you need to give it to Kennedy, because Kennedy can pass it in there without getting a turnover. Kennedy is Kennedy. Crystal says Baby Iverson, facts. She actually recently talked about in a post game presser about Allen Iverson and like how he knows who she is and like whatnot. But yeah, Kennedy Carter, yeah, she's basically a female version of Allen Iverson. She's a beast. Again, 15.3 points a game. I believe she should be on this roster. I believe that. Machiavelli says Carter over Mitchell. I would agree with that. Machiavelli, I would agree with that. Yeah. I would absolutely agree with that. She is fantastic. Yes, Tom, she is a free agent after this year. So I am hopeful. I am hopeful that the Chicago Sky come to their senses and get her a contract for the next several years because she's doing her thing. Oh, no, Michaela, she's not the best passer in the league. No. She's the best passer for the Chicago Sky when it comes to getting the ball in the post. All right, another snub that I have is Dejanay Carrington. So Dejanay Carrington is another player that I thought would be deserving of a All-Star nod because she's been playing really well. Y'all, Dejanay Carrington is not, if y'all don't know, she plays for the Connecticut Sun. She is 5'11". Tim, if you're still in here and you're curious about that, her height, she's 5'11". Kennedy Carter is 5'9", thing to note. But yeah, Dejanay is a fantastic defender. She usually guards the best guard on the opposing team, and she does a good job at it. So far this season, she's averaging 13.2 points a game and 4.7 rebounds a game. I think she's been playing really, really well. Is just another player that I thought was deserving of a All-Star nod. But she didn't get it, but I think she's been playing really, really well and should for sure be in the running for most improved player of the year for this season. Machiavelli, let's hope that the Sky don't let Kennedy go. Darius says Carrington snub is wild. She's been on a tangent all season. Tough defender. Nice from deep. Yep. Bryce said I would have loved Carrington to play on the All-Star team. She's like that. Yeah. Yeah. I think I think Dejanay Carrington is fantastic. Kevin, talking about the process of All Stars, says it's a popularity contest to some extent, and Carter did not endear herself to the popular vote. Her game's deserving. Yeah, Kevin. She is a polarizing player. Some people can't stand her. Some people love her. But her game speaks for herself. Like, her game speaks for itself. She was actually, guys, on the list of 36 players. You know, and earlier in the stream when I talked about how the coaches, WNBA coaches, had to choose ultimately who made the roster. So the initial vote included 50% from fan vote, 25% player vote, 25% broadcast media broadcast vote. Those votes compiled together. The 10 vote getters were automatically named to the All-Star game. Though a thing to note is that a significant amount of those players were on Team USA, and the remaining top vote getters were put on a list. It was 36 players put on a list and given to the coaches to ultimately select the players who were ultimately going to end up on the All-Star team. So Kennedy Carter was on that top 36 list for coaches to choose from. It was just that the coaches did not select her for the All-Star team. That's a possibility. Michaela says, I think coaches thought she wouldn't be putting good vibes with the rest of the locker room. That's a possibility. That is a possibility. All right, guys. Now I do want to talk about another player who I thought was a bubble player. Not as much of a snub as the other players, but also just a player who I think has been balling and was deserving of some shine, is Natasha Cloud. So Natasha Cloud, she plays for the Phoenix Mercury, and besides Chelsea Gray, I think right now in the W, she is the next best elite point guard. Natasha Cloud is a player who can. She's not a crazy flashy player. She's not. Like, if you're looking for a player that's going to score a lot of points or whatever, that's not Natasha Cloud. But she is going to put her team in the best position. So far, she's averaging 11.5 points per game. She's also averaging 7.3 assists per game as well. Again, second in the WNBA on that metric. She's a player who does anything her team needs her to do. Yes, absolutely, she's a willing passer, but also, she is a player who can play some defense. If y'all have noticed, she has been guarding post players on defense, and it's because, it's a way to keep Brittany Griner out of foul trouble, but it's also because she can do it. All right. So that's my list of players who I thought was deserving and players who I thought was snubbed. Though, in terms of order of it, I would say it's Kennedy, Dejanay, Ezzy, and Natasha Cloud. That's sort of my order of snubs. So guys, let me know in the comments who y'all have as snubs for the All-Star game. Let me know. But yeah, that's basically the stream right there. That's basically what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about the All-Star game, let y'all know who's in it, and just walk through player by player and whatnot. And so hopefully this was interesting to y'all. I know this took a lot of time, but hopefully this was an interesting exercise for us to do together, and for you all to sort of get a better understanding at each of the players on the roster. Let's see. Crystal fan vote. And also because they're good players. But yeah, we saw Caitlin and Aliyah automatically get selected to the All-Star game because of the fan vote. And Kelsey Mitchell was in that list of 36, and the coaches voted for her. Let's see. Any other comments? CAC, what's up? CAC says agreed with Dejanay too. It seems both the All Stars and Olympic teams don't value defensive players. Yeah. Defense is not as flashy. David says Lisa Bluter was snubbed. Oh man, y'all funny. Y'all are funny. JC says, what are your predictions for the game and in terms of who's gonna win like MVP and stuff like that? I think that Team USA is gonna win the game, and I think the MVP is either gonna be Asia Wilson or Sabrina Ionescu. I have no idea who's gonna be in the skills competition or the 3-point challenge, so I'm not sure. Though it would be really cool. I'm gonna put my vote out there. Put my vote out there that the people want to see Caitlin Clark for the 3-point contest. She needs to participate in a 3-point contest. I hope she does. They have not announced the names of the players who will be participating in the 3-point contest, but I hope that Caitlin Clark is on that list, because it would be really, really fun to see Caitlin versus like a Sabrina Ionescu and some other players for the 3-point contest. I think that'd be really fun to see. Thank you so much, B. Will, for rocking with me. Thank you so much, Machiavelli. Thank you, Darius. Appreciate you for rocking with me. All right, Timothy says the WNBA, the team WNBA is going to win in the All-Star game. I think that'll be cool if they do. I don't think they will though. They did win they did win in 2021 though. That's something to note. Future Goat says Angel and Caitlin are going to play so well together. Their playing styles are very compatible. I think it's gonna be fun to see them on the same team. I'm hoping that we get a couple of pick and roll actions between those two. I think that'll be really fun. Bryce says I'm waiting for the Fever Aces game recap from you. So I actually did a recap on Bleacher Report yesterday. So if y'all go to Bleacher Report's app, y'all can see my my post game recap. I don't think I'm gonna redo it for this channel, mainly because I just don't have enough. I don't have the time to do it. But yeah, if you want to see my post game recap, it is on Bleacher Report's app right now. For the Aces Fever game. CSC says most of the Fever players made the 36 list team. Yeah, they did. Because again, guys, it is fan vote was a huge factor. Huge factor. So to sort of hone in on CAC's point, let's go down a list of players who was on the Fever. So Timmy Fagbenle made the list of 36 players. Lexi Hull, Kelsey Mitchell, Katie Lou Samuelson, Nelissa Smith, Christy Wallace, Erica Wheeler. So yeah, you're right, CAC. Yeah, basically, everybody on the Indiana Fever made the list of 36 because they were probably they were all tops in terms of the fan vote, because the fans was out voting for Indiana. But yeah, that's kind of funny. Simone, yeah, the coaches did put in Kelsey Mitchell. Yep. Timothy says there's going to be a lot of eyes on the W. Yep. It will be. Thank you so much, Bryce, for the super chat. Really do appreciate that. That does help out the channel a whole lot. Bryce says, keep dropping bangers, Quita. Well, thank you so much, and I will keep doing that. I will keep doing that. Michaela says, Lexi Hull is funny. You never know when that girl's gonna play. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Carmela says fan vote was very key. Yep. Yep. Simone says, quit working for Bleacher Report. I'm not working for them. I am a contributor. I think that's what I'm called. I think. So occasionally what Bleacher Report will do is they'll reach out. They'll send me an email and say, hey, we have this game coming up. Do you want to do a video, a live stream for us? And so I do it. So yesterday I actually did 2 live streams for Bleacher Report. I did a initial reaction to the All-Star selection. So I did that. And that's why, guys, I was not live yesterday. The reason why I wasn't live yesterday is because I was actually live on Bleacher Report. So I wasn't live on this channel, but I was live on Bleacher Report's app. So I did a All-Star selection reaction live stream yesterday. And then after the Aces versus Fever game, I did a live stream on Bleacher Report. So they ask me when they want me to do a live stream for them. So I've done quite a few so far. I also will be doing a live stream, 2 live streams for them for right now for the Olympic team. So a thing to note, guys, is actually before the Olympics happen, Team USA will be playing a game against Germany, sort of like a I think this is like a warm up or so. Actually, no, maybe this is during the actual Olympics. I don't know, but I'll be doing at least two live streams around the Olympic team. So again, shout out to Bleacher Report. They really are an org that is rocking with me. They reached out to me for this opportunity, and I'm like, hey, you want me on, and you allow me to say whatever I want to say, and you tell me a topic that you want me to cover, and I can say it however I want, and there's no talking points that I have to do. There's nothing specific that I have to say. I just have to talk about the topic. So like for the post game, it's like, hey, we want you to do a post game. I can say whatever I want, but it just has to, of course, relate to the post game for the Aces and the Fever. I love it. I think it's a fun opportunity because I feel like a lot of when a lot of people have opportunities with like brands, they're told what to say, or they're told a certain angle to go by. And luckily for me, I don't have to. Like they just give me a topic and I can just kind of say whatever I want to say. So that's kind of cool. I really do enjoy that. Yeah, I really do enjoy that. Yeah. Oh, so it's the USA Basketball Showcase on July the 23rd. I'll be doing the pre and post game live stream. It's the U.S. is playing Germany. So U.S. versus Germany for 5-on-5 basketball. The game will be on FS1, and I will be doing a pre and post game reaction on Bleacher Report's app. CAC says, I was wondering where you were yesterday. Yep, that's where I was. Future Ghost says you have the perfect voice and personality for broadcasting. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, that's kind of cool to hear you say. I mean, I don't know. I just talk how I talk. But I really do appreciate y'all for rocking with me, because I think Bleacher Report must have seen like you all support of me and what I have to say, and maybe that's why they've given me this opportunity. But I love it. J-Dub, I haven't heard anything else about that investigation. Oh no, Future Ghost says us Fever fans still want Sides out. Really? You don't want to give her to the rest of the year? Con Lenny says, who will coach the WNBA All Stars? It's either Stephanie White or Sandy Brondello. I believe it's the top coach. The top coach. The top coach in the league, and I think right now that's Sandy Brondello, with the yeah, I think that's Sandy Brondello. Well, yeah, Miss Peach, rock out with them when I'm on. Rock out with them when I'm on. CSC says, I remember you were saying you were on Bleacher. I was literally saying yesterday, where is Quita? That is funny. That is funny. Y'all, so Simone was looking for me too. You said she hasn't posted in a while. CSC says, you have grown the W, Quita. I wanted to watch the rookies and follow your channel still. Thank you. I mean, that's my, like, literally the whole purpose of me doing what I'm doing is I want to grow the game of women's basketball. I do. Like, that's what I want. I love the game of women's basketball, and I just want to do whatever I can to talk about it in a fun way, to be a positive voice when it comes to women's basketball. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what I think, but also, I don't have to be one of those loud negative symbols, talking about the WNBA. J-Dub has a recommendation, says y'all should check out Satu Sabli's interview for Paul George's podcast. It was really good. I got to check that out. Thanks for the recommendation. Thank you for the recommendation. All right, guys. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. This has been a very, very fun stream. I appreciate y'all. I hope that y'all had a good time. We have been going for a little bit over 2 hours. So this is time for me to kind of call it quits for the day. But thank y'all so much for rocking with me. JC, we'll leave it with this, says, hope some of y'all were taking notes during this informational stream. The W rocks. Glad you're here to enjoy. Yeah, the WNBA does rock. Like, the WNBA is my favorite league. It is. I am biased, sure, because I've been playing basketball my entire life. But I love the WNBA, and I'm glad you all do too. So, I mean, if you didn't, I don't know why you would waste two hours of your time to listen to someone ramble about the WNBA if you didn't love it. So, thank y'all for rocking with me. I really do appreciate it. You guys are fan-freaking-tastic. And when I tell you, like, you guys have been fantastic. You guys have been. Like, I love coming on here and talking to y'all, and just us having a good time talking about the game of women's basketball. We're a small group. We are a small group of fans. Like, there's not that many women's basketball fans, like, in America. Like, it's not. Like, you could be rocking with the NBA, which I'm sure some of y'all do. You could be doing anything. But the fact that you're a women's basketball fan, you're a part of an elite. In my head, it just popped up is like, these detectives are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories. Dun dun. Oh man. Okay. I think that's my sign that I need to go. And maybe I need to watch Law and Order SVU tonight. I don't know. That's on my mind today. Richie says, coach for the WNBA All Stars has yet to be selected. Yeah. Okay. Usually it's the top coach from the best team in the W. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see when they announce that. We'll see. David says, send my love to El President. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, he needs to go for a walk. So yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. But anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all. Y'all rock. I got to go, and I hope you all have a fantastic evening. Be nice to someone. Truly, be nice to someone. Be respectful, and show somebody that you care. Show someone that they matter, because they do. And I will see you all soon. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.